Hello guys, I'll talk to you about location-based ads. We started with the location-based in the in-person class last Tuesday. Today I'm just gonna talk a little bit about some cases and wrap it up. So location-based advertisements is utilizing your mobile device or cell phone so as to detect your location, and based on your location as well as some contextual data surrounding your location, certain advertisements will be served to you, of course um, by taking into consideration your own profile related data. So as we talked about last class, there is a unique identifier that is installed into your physical device, and there's also another identifier called the identity for advertising. So there's a unique device address identifier created by the manufacturer. When you turn on the device, the software creates a device ID or ID for advertising. So ID for advertising. So this is different than the UDID, which is unique device ID. And the mobile web cookies are what ad servers drops into the mobile web browser to understand what kind of content they are using, and if the ads are displayed, in-app cookies can't be used. Instead, unique device IDs may be used. So how it works: using any public Wi-Fi system, as I explained in class, or using an app or browsing the website, a certain website on your mobile application. It will also, if you are browsing on a mobile application, will also collect information on your location if they are part of the network. Then after asking your permission, each device can add a tracking code to enable identification of the user as they visit other sites. So if a user, for example, is logged onto a BMW Wi-Fi phone in a dealership somewhere in Tokyo, they may be in research mode or actual purchase stage in that dealership. Their level of interest can be identified from the visitor's click behavior. So many of us nowadays, and actually a lot of research is happening nowadays on how you actually go physically to the store in the mall, but you end up searching for similar products or the same product on the web and comparing prices. And this kind of signals a certain stage that you are into the purchase stage, which is maybe data collection. Location and demographic data can be combined, of course. Demographic data about the user and the location data and its contextual data as well, like the weather, the temperature, and so on. I'm going to talk about an example where they utilize such weather information as well, based on the location, along with demographic data to define digital audiences. The digital audiences are part of the market target that you could push advertisements to, and then serve tightly target display ads so that in real time bidding they will be able to reach to tablet users and mobile users. So if you a customer browsing via your mobile or tablet and you click onto the sports page of a Guardian newspaper online, there will be a ping, we call it. A ping, it's called a bid. So a ping is also a bid impression or bid stream that is sent from the publisher, which is the Guardian here, to an online ad network. This effectively announces that there is a viewer that is looking for the sports page on the Guardian and invites a bid. If, of course, you are interested in buying running shoes for the past week, here is a very good chance that you will be served either with advertisements for the first time or retargeted with certain advertisements from advertisers or agencies. Marketers can see what the viewer is looking at what time, so via the bid impression. So if you work with the right supply side partners, and here I say the right because not all the supply side partners or the publisher sites in the supply side platform has such an advanced technology. They can cross-reference that device ID into their own database. So the bigger the network, the better it is, because when they cross-referencing it with other on the database, meaning they can find out if this device, mobile phone holder, has been in other different places of their own customers or clients in their network, and see what that person generally looks at or has looked at in the past and where they usually go in terms of location wise. This is too much information about one single person, but usually this kind of platforms give you aggregate data rather than individual data. The advertisers gain access to buy this impression and then have an ad served via the demand side platform. There are many types, of course, of location based advertising, such as text messaging, display ad, or push based ads. We don't receive much of these text messages displays, but we do have some push based advertisements that send to the media company once the customer has opened into receive relevant ads mode or in a particular location connected to a certain Wi-Fi of a business. Now, usually when you are into a restaurant or a pub or whatever business, you ask for the password. So therefore, you're asking for permission, and or if you are using a certain application, they ask you if it's okay to get access to your photos folder or your location folder. So you have a special offer while sharing your location, for example, with friends, to attract the friends into the venue. This is not really the case right now. People voluntarily are sharing their location on Facebook, for example. Other customers might also value knowing that a friend is having whatever coffee in a certain place, or. So sharing location nowadays on social media is more of a social norm among a new generation, and it is done voluntarily without any incentive. So this was back in the time where businesses were thinking about giving an incentive or a discount for a free advertising on Facebook. If you're sharing your location on Facebook, then we're gonna give a certain discount for you. And now, targeting local audiences. Another variation of location-based advertising can be integrated with other data. For example, you have a local newsletter that we talked about, and they collect postcodes as part of their registration process online. So if you have 10,000 readers, you understand in a certain postcode area, they could serve local restaurants, ads, and special offers only localized to these 10,000 customers who live nearby these restaurants and they have access to them. So the paper can still cover national and international and local news whilst delivering very relevant local ads. Data companies, for example. We have a data company called Experian. Experian is one of the data management platform kind of companies. It is British. It's a UK based company, and with Experian, I wonder if it's Experian. Let me check the Experian. It's more of the Experian here. They can delve into their databases, in fact, to reveal additional insights about target markets. So no names are given. Of course, they anonymize the data and give you the aggregate, and Experian can reveal such information about people like where they live, maybe a hint about their income, um, also uh, their family status, and so on. Experian here is Experian.com. You can check it out. They have a very interesting website. Maybe we could, they have also some case studies if you would like to take a look at. So I really suggest that you take a look at Experian.com. Hmm? What happened? Hmm? This is very funny. Experian.com. Anyway, okay. Okay, so they have marketing here, services for businesses, for small businesses, for example, as well. Do you know your business credit? This for the credit score, really, but they have their marketing. I think here for businesses, I'd rather go back to the marketing. This is marketing services. Over here for marketing services, so for example, they have data that connects brands with fans. So they do collect data not only on the credit, on the person's credit, they have case studies. So data click as a case study here, and SP Group Analytics. Please take a look at these very interesting data case studies. I could summarize it for you, but it's a very interesting read, and I'm gonna keep the link for you so that you can, during summertime, take a look at these case studies, and be prepped when you go for an interview. They might ask you some questions about this advanced kind of uh, um, uh, digital marketing techniques that they use with even advanced technologies. They're quite interesting. Okay, back to the slide so that we are within time. So Experian, for example, they anonymize the data, and they can reveal if within the postcode they understand with their geo locations. They can say they can know if they apply for a credit card. If you've noticed that Experian already it checks for your credit, so if you want to take a mortgage or whatever, they check your credit. This data should be used to target a credit card, for example, companies, and so on. So let's talk about data-driven programmatic ad buying solutions companies like Bliss also. Bliss is an advanced location data technology agency that help advertisers. They could ask Experian. Experian is where they collect data for credit history reports. So at Bliss, they ask Experian if they are looking at these postal codes for people interested in mortgages. But as you can see, lately, um, Experian is also offering some marketing data that connects brands with fans. So you can download for sure here, learn more about the audience segmentations here. So they usually work with business to business, and probably they could work with you directly if you have a marketing team, instead of working with Bliss, which are the marketing agency that you would hire. But in any case, it doesn't matter if you work with them directly or through Bliss. They're looking, for example, at these postal codes for people interested in mortgages. And have you got any information on people looking for mortgages in these geographical areas? Basically, you ask them this question to Experian, and Experian might delve into their data and give you a list of aggregation. So they can tell you that there is a blah 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 percentage of people within this diameter of this zip code has been applying for credit cards or haven't yet. Of course, if the percentage is very low, then you can see an opportunity for you there in the market. So this gives you an insight. So, for example, they may reveal that there are approximately 8,000 people who are looking for mortgages in a particular area, where previously Bliss were only targeting, let's say, 1,000. So instead of targeting 1,000 individuals in the area, now we understand that we're only 1,000 over 8,000 of our potential. So this means that we are targeting, as a marketing company, we are targeting 1 over 8, which is about only 12.5% of our potential, right? So you could probably target more customers. So given the number of people in that postal area, you have recently had, for example, mortgages in principle inquiries made for a credit file. Bliss could start to look at other people that they haven't yet been targeted, in addition to that original target group. So you can expand your target group, or you can just say that I'm doing the right job, I shouldn't be expanding, I just need to focus on the group that I'm working on. Now, Experian basically delivers insights into the target market. They provide information on what we call it ABCI, segmentation for targeting, which is all the demographics. In particular area, some of that information might include a postal code, and Bliss can start looking at residential IP addresses on the mobile phones and the PCs. Then they can start seeing devices that are attached to that IP address, and then devices when they are leaving the home. So this is just another way of developing behavioral location user ID. So it's quite dangerous, right? So Bliss tells you that on ground there is 8,000 people who are not been targeted yet, but they are looking for mortgages that we've been receiving from banks notices to check their credit history for a mortgage. Now, what happens is, now Bliss, what they do, they can start looking into the devices that are attached to the certain IP addresses in that geolocation, and then the devices when they are leaving the home. So when are you leaving the home? This is just another way of developing behavioral location ID. Bliss can get residential IP addresses once potential customers connect via a Wi-Fi and so on. And this is how they get you on your mobile phone or in the house and send you advertisements about mortgages or houses. Now, this is an example of how you use a partner like Experian, an expert partner, to create what we call it a location-based campaign. At this stage in the evolution of this location-based campaigns and programmatic advertising, it is probably the easiest for many marketers to use expert companies in the field, like data-driven programmatic ad buying solutions companies such as Bliss, to work with these kinds of solutions, because they are very advanced and very specialized. It's very difficult to find and hire somebody who can do this and other things. Like, you really need to be very specialized. So to work with these kinds of solution companies, marketers must understand how location-based marketing works and how layered data reveals additional insights about target markets, and also adding unique identifiers to each device IP. Now, in summary of the data flows for a programmatic advertising, as you can see, you have the customer targeting data. You can feed it into the location demographics audience. You have the third-party data and not collected directly from you. You can feed it either to location-based marketing or to this location-based also have behavioral, or the demand side platform. You have also the advertisers. They are part of the system, and they would like to they connect to the system through the supply side platform, but the supply side platform talks to the demand side platform through the Exchange server. So whenever there is a view whenever there is a view, then the demand side, the supply side platform sends information for the demand side platform to help ask for a bid. Alright, so now we have an exchange server here. The exchange server talks to the publishers. Sorry, this is an advertiser, not a publisher. The publisher is right here. I'm really sorry. So here's the publisher. I'm sorry. The advertiser sends the information, the ad creatives, whenever they receive a bid for a view. So in any case, here's the publisher, and the publisher here gives the Bing that, oh, there is an impression available here. So the ad exchange sends a bid request. So this is the idea here. Here's the audience. The audience land on the publisher. I'd rather start from here, guys. So here's the audience. The audience lands on the publisher's side. The publisher, for example, here sends an available impression is available, kind of like Bing, to the exchange. The exchange sends to the demand side platform that there is a bid request. When there is a bid request over here, the demand side platform is actually connected to the location, demographics, and audience database and the data management platforms. As you can see here, so there's customer targeting data, there's the third-party data platforms connected either to this or either directly to the demand side platform, and there is the individual advertisers, the campaigns, they have certain requirements. They also have their information fit into the demand side platform. So once this bid request arrives at the demand side platforms, a bid happens. So here's the response for the bid, and the response for the bid is actually goes to the exchange, so that the exchange will serve the right advertisements for the publisher. So this is once that the advertisement is served, the publisher sends a win notification to the DSP so that it will be charged, that the advertiser or any of these guys will be charged for the view. Again, audience here land on the publisher. Publisher sends that a Bing that there is an impression available to the exchange server. Exchange server, as a mediator, takes it from there to send the bid request to the demand side platform. Demand side platform is not only connected to the small advertisers like me and you, but also to the third-party data platforms, which are marketing companies, and these marketing companies, they have partners. Their partners are location, demographic, audience kind of database warehouses, companies that collect data on audience, and they connect to the DSP either directly, these third-party data, which are the marketing specialized companies, the specialized marketing digital marketing companies. They either directly work with the DSP or work with the DSP through the partners, as you can see here, right? And then you have also custom targeting data working directly with these data owners. As I told you, for example, Experian is here and the Bliss is here in our example. You can work with Experian also directly. In any case, once the bid is the auction is done, and the bid response will be delivered from the DSP to the exchange, and then the exchange will of course display such information on the publisher's reports through the supply side platform. And then once the advertisement is served successfully, then there is a win notification sent to the demand side platform also to record this click or view, so that they will be charged for it. And this is from Bliss Media DataWorks. All right, very nice. Let's talk about behavioral mapping. And behavioral mapping, I'm not gonna put it in the quiz because I covered mostly all this up to here. I remember I covered all this, but over here I don't want to cover something that you probably don't have enough time to ask me any questions about. This is not fair. So up to here is optional material, and this is not covered by the quiz. I'm gonna create a new video for behavioral mapping.